Hello and welcome to the Astrology and Numerology for Friday, June 23rd, 2023. 6/23/2023. 2 plus 2 plus 3 adds to 7, which is associated with Venus and Libra. 2 plus 3 is 5, associated with Leo and the Sun. 6, associated with Virgo and Mercury. Friday is Venus Day, and Neptune, which is the highest evolution of Venus, can also be honored. Neptune and Pisces can also be honored on Fridays. Venus is currently 15 degrees of Leo, answering to the Sun, which is at 1 degree of Cancer, answering to the Moon. The two are in mutual reception, or working in cahoots together. So we have Venus, 15 degrees of Leo, in conjunction with Black Moon Lilith, the shadow feminine where we're needing empowerment, at 18 degrees of Leo, and Mars, our motivation and drive and outward expression of energy, at 19 degrees of Leo, with Pallas Athena, our creative intelligence, at 22 degrees of Leo. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 placements in Leo, including the Moon, which earlier in the day was in the late degrees of Leo, answering to the Sun at 1 degree of Cancer, and later on in the day in the early degrees of Virgo, where it's reporting to Mercury. Mercury at 22 and 23 degrees of Gemini today, in rulership, moving very quickly, 2 degrees per day, closing in on the Sun at 1 degree of Cancer. When the Moon was in Leo and the Sun was in Cancer, this is called mutual reception, because the Sun that Leo normally reports to, and the Moon that normally rules Cancer have traded rulers. They're working in cahoots or closely together. Also today, Vesta shifted from 29 degrees of Taurus, where it was answering to Venus, into the early degrees of Gemini, strengthening the Mercury in Gemini already strong energy. We also need to look into what Venus rules, which in this case is Libra. Ceres just a couple days ago shifted from Virgo, reporting to Mercury, to Libra, now answering to Venus. We also still have a large concentration of energy in Taurus, which is also ruled by Venus. The North Node of Fate and Destiny, now at 1 degree of Taurus for its final month there. Jupiter at 7 degrees, fused with the North Node of Fate and Destiny. And Uranus, 21 degrees, Vesta at 29 degrees, now in Gemini. Let's look at Neptune. Neptune, the highest evolution of Venus, is at 27 degrees of Pisces, also in rulership, very strong here. This Neptune and Pisces energy is like enlightenment or renaissance, beautiful for creativity and imagination and creating renowned works of arts. Tap into it while you still can. With Saturn now retrograde at 7 degrees of Pisces, answering to a strong Neptune in Pisces. This is while Neptune is sextile, so in a benefic, working with 60-degree angle to Pluto, our planet of transformation, retrograding at 29 degrees of Capricorn. Our personal transformation as it relates to our careers, ambitions, how we define success, working with our creativity and intuition. Neptune, the great dissolver. Pluto is still and increasing its square to the North Node and South Node of Fate and Destiny, which are at 1 degree of Taurus and Scorpio. This square will intensify as the North and South Node approach 29 degrees of Libra and Aries. This is all while Saturn is in sextile or 60-degree angle, working with Jupiter and the North Node of Fate and Destiny in Taurus, with Uranus also in the sign, throwing curveballs in the form of wild weather. We'll see a lot of flooding. Neptune is also square to both the Sun and Mercury. The Sun and Mercury are close by. They're within conjunction. Mercury at 23 degrees of Gemini by the end of the day, and the Sun at 1 degree approaching 2 degrees of Cancer by tomorrow. This square between Neptune and Mercury is like a hangover that won't go away. The weather where I am perfectly describes the situation. It's a fog, it's a rain that just lingers for days. Now let's focus on the aspects involving Venus. So Venus has this 5 placement conjunction between Venus, Black Moon Lilith, Mars, Pallas Athena, and the Moon, all answering to the Sun, which is now in Cancer, answering to the ever-fluctuating Moon. We have Venus and Mars trine, working harmoniously with Chiron, our deepest soul wounds, at 19 degrees of Aries. They're in fire signs. Mars and Venus in Leo, a fixed fire energy, while Aries is a very initiating cardinal fire sign, great at pioneering and starting. Good luck with these harsh aspects. You got this.